Good morning, America. Overnight, a major escalation in the Middle East. Is all-out war next? Extensive strikes in Lebanon. Israeli forces issue urgent warnings to civilians to get out. Warplanes make direct hits. Now, what U.S. officials tell us about fears of a wider war. How President Biden is pushing to prevent one. Martha Raddatz live in Tel Aviv on the escalation, and Marcus Moore on the ground in Beirut.
On the hunt, police in Alabama looking for suspects in a deadly mass shooting. 4 people killed, more than a dozen injured, after authorities say gunmen used a modified automatic weapon to open fire outside a nightclub. We hear from one of the survivors.
Tropical threat. Ginger is tracking the storm taking shape and taking aim at the Gulf Coast. Plus, tornadoes touching down overnight.
Battle for the swing states. With just 43 days until the final votes, the campaigns zero in on the battlegrounds. This morning, the new poll on the state of the race in the Sun Belt. New surveillance video of Sean Diddy Combs taken into custody at a Manhattan hotel. What we know about his living conditions right now.
Lost and found. A 10-year-old girl missing in the Louisiana woods, spotted by a thermal imaging drone. How she wandered away.
Small town mystery. Funeral services held for a judge gunned down inside his chamber. The search for a motive.
An ABC News exclusive with Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. How he's helping keep young athletes safe as he gets ready for Monday Night Football.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
We hope all of you are doing well. Good morning, America.
Yes, we hope you had a better weekend than Robin did. She had a good weekend, yeah. And we have a very busy Monday morning ahead. Just 43 days until the election. Rachel Scott is here tracking both campaigns and new polling on the state of the race.
But Rebecca, we're going to begin with the urgent warning to civilians overseas as fears grow in the Middle East that the region is on the brink of a wider war, with cross-border attacks escalating. Overnight, Israeli forces say they conducted extensive strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Marcus Moore is live on the ground in Lebanon's capital. But first, Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz is in Tel Aviv for us. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. This morning, as you said, urgent warnings from the Israelis to Lebanese civilians to get out of harm's way as these extensive strikes are launched into Hezbollah stronghold, with a U.S. official telling me a wider conflict now really looks to be inevitable. Overnight, dramatic new strikes on Lebanon. For the first time since the October 7th massacre, Israel showing warplanes making a direct hit on a residence where they say Hezbollah was hiding a cruise missile capable of traveling deep into Israel. The IDF saying you can see Hezbollah operatives breaking down a wall in the home and readying the missile for launch. The IDF now warning that extensive, precise strikes aimed at targets across Lebanon are far from over, and that civilians around them should flee.
We advise civilians from Lebanese villages located in and next to buildings and areas used by Hezbollah for military purpose, such as those used to store weapons, to immediately move out of harm's way for their own safety.
This comes after a weekend of Hezbollah firing more than 150 rockets into northern Israel, many of them intercepted before they hit their mark. Israel, too, launching hundreds of strikes into Lebanon. The airstrikes intensified after last week's unprecedented attacks on Hezbollah personal communications devices, including pagers, killing 42 people and injuring nearly 3,500. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making clear Israel will do whatever is necessary to restore security to its borders.
No country can accept the wanton rocketing of its cities. We can't accept it either.
And a U.S. official telling me just moments ago that in the coming hours, Israeli airstrikes will be ratcheting up substantially and imminently. George?
Okay, Martha, stand by. We're going to go to Marcus Moore on the scene in Beirut right now. Marcus.
George, good morning. The mood here in Beirut is very different today. The streets are quieter and many restaurants are vacant. And earlier, a lot of people received warnings on their cell phones to evacuate. Lebanon has been on edge as they have watched the fighting in the south intensify and have also seen strikes here in Beirut. In fact, while attending a Hezbollah funeral, We were just feet away when a radio exploded in a man's hands, and we saw the chaos that followed. And after those unprecedented explosions of thousands of personal electronic devices across the country, some have moved their families from the area, concerned that southern Beirut will be targeted again. And this morning, the Lebanese Health Ministry now says 100 people have been killed and 400 injured in Israeli strikes so far today. And putting all of this together, it has some people fearful about what's to come, while others are angry and said they'd be ready to fight. George.
Imagine, let's go back to Martha for more on this fear of a wider war. The U.S. is very concerned about it.
Very concerned, George. President Biden says his administration is doing everything possible to prevent a wider war, but a U.S. official telling me the table is set for escalation, that the Israelis are not listening to the U.S., and that what we saw here overnight is a prelude of what is to come. That is why we have seen the State Department warn Americans to get out of Lebanon while commercial means are still available. And of course, here in Israel, they fully expect Hezbollah to launch further attacks. Robin?
All right, Martha, thanks to you and George, and such a tense time there in that region. We're going to turn now to the manhunt in Alabama. Officials are searching for the gunman who opened fire on a crowd of people Saturday night, killing 4, wounding more than a dozen others. Stephanie Ramos is in Birmingham with the latest for us. Good morning to you, Stephanie.
Robin, good morning. We are right outside that lounge where the shooting happened. Police believe one person who was killed was the intended target. The others caught in the crossfire.
This morning, police are on the hunt for multiple suspects who they say fired into a crowd in a busy entertainment district in Birmingham, Alabama, killing 4 and injuring more than a dozen. It was around 11 p.m. on Saturday. Police racing to the city's historic 5 Points South area near the campus of the University of Alabama at Birmingham, finding at least 21 victims. Video showing a harrowing scene, victims laying on the sidewalk. Police now saying at least one of the 4 people killed is believed to be an intended target.
We believe that there was a hit, if you will, on that particular person, as far as, someone was willing to pay money to have that person killed.
24-year-old Gabriel Islami tells us he was standing outside a lounge with friends when he heard the gunshots.
I heard the gunshots, I ran. And there wasn't even a few seconds into running, then out of nowhere I just couldn't feel my leg, and I fall. And I get up, because it didn't even resonate with me that I got shot.
Islami recounting those terrifying moments as he recovers at home.
I get up and I kind of turn around and look back, and you just see a horror movie of a scene. I mean, there's bodies on the sidewalk. There's smoke from the guns covering the area.
Authorities say multiple suspects jumped out of a vehicle, opening fire on a group standing outside, and then ran off.
It was just really general chaos and pandemonium. This gentleman just kept screaming, that's my sister.
And investigators now say they believe the firearms involved in the shooting were converted to fully automatic using a so-called gun switch. Around 100 shell casings collected at the scene. Police appealing for the public's help.
The first thing and the priority is to get these shooters, find these shooters and get them off our streets.
Authorities releasing the identities of 3 of the victims overnight. 21-year-old Anitra Holloman and 27-year-olds Taj Booker and Carlos McCain are among the victims. Local police are now working with the ATF and the FBI as they continue this investigation, Rebecca.
Just caught in the crossfire on a night out. All right, Stephanie, thank you. We turn now to the tropical threat and the tornadoes, and Ginger is tracking the storm taking shape and taking aim at the Gulf Coast now. Good morning,
yes.
Ginger.
By the end of this week, we should have a landfalling hurricane again in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And so it's looking more and more confident that we'll have this storm, this area of thunderstorms that we're watching, become Helene in the next couple of days. Doesn't matter exactly when it forms, but it does matter where and how it's forming and how quickly it can do that. And I'll show you why. We're going to move this thing into the Gulf again by, say, Tuesday. And then that high pressure system that would have been blocking moves to the east and allows for that storm to come right on up. Looks like panhandle of Florida right now. But this upper level low gets cut off. What that means to you is it could move it slowly. It could even wrap it around back into the mid-south and stall it out. So that would be some major inland flooding problems. But we'll watch for that. At the initial, right, Thursday night into Friday morning, looks like 2 to 4 degrees above normal in the Gulf. So plenty of fuel There will be some dry air wrapping in. There will be a little bit of fight from the atmosphere, but either way, I want everyone really east of New Orleans to be preparing for this. And don't count yourself out if you're New Orleans quite yet, because we're days and days away. But watching this form, it looks like it would be the Panhandle. So Tampa, anybody there on that southwest shore of Florida has to be aware. Naples, all the way up, Crystal River, all the places that I was at just months ago. Debbie.
Okay, thank you, Ginger. We're going to turn now to the race for the White House. Just 43 days until Election Day. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, both campaigning in battlegrounds this week amid a debate over more debates. Rachel Scott is here with the latest. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George. Good morning to you. Yeah, it's looking very unlikely that voters will see these two candidates on a debate stage again before the November election. Look, we just got 6 weeks to go here, and polls show that Vice President Kamala Harris is gaining momentum nationally, but she's trailing Donald Trump in two of the critical battleground states that could decide this election. With just 43 days to go, Vice President Kamala Harris gaining ground nationally, with a recent poll finding Harris now leading Donald Trump by 5 points among voters nationwide, 49 to 44%. But a New York Times Siena poll shows tight races in two of the battleground states that could decide this election, with Trump ahead in both Arizona and North Carolina. In the final weeks, Harris trying to paint a contrast.
On the other side is that there is a devaluation of who the American people are. Just don't really understand.
Challenging the former president to a second debate.
Join me on the debate stage. Let's have another debate. There's more to talk about.
Trump rejecting that.
It's too late to do another. I'd love to in many ways, but it's too late.
Donald Trump claiming no matter the outcome, this election will likely be his last. The former president, constitutionally ineligible to run again if he wins, asked whether or not he'd mount a fourth bid for the White House if he loses.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think that will be it. I don't see that at all. I think hopefully we're going to be successful.
Over the weekend, Trump rallying his supporters in North Carolina as the Republican he endorsed for governor is now at the center of controversy and scandal.
Hello to North Carolina.
Trump, who has repeatedly praised Mark Robinson, now not even mentioning him by name, after CNN reported he made a series of racist and inflammatory comments more than a decade ago, including calling himself a black Nazi. ABC News has not independently confirmed the reporting, which Robinson denies.
The things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson.
Overnight, 4 Robinson senior staffers stepping down, but Trump not withdrawing his endorsement. And some Republican voters are concerned about what that could mean for the top of the ticket.
Does it give you some pause?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So North Carolina, of course, is a must-win for Donald Trump. He barely won that state last time around. Today, he heads to Pennsylvania for a rally. As Vice President Kamala Harris is preparing to give a big speech on the economy this week, that is an issue where poll after poll, Trump continues to dominate.
Yeah, that's one of his strong suits. Okay, Rachel, thanks very much. Rebecca?
Thank you, Rachel and George. And now we turn to breaking news overnight. The Pope canceling events right before a new trip. Our foreign correspondent, James Longman, is here tracking the news from the Vatican. Nice to see you, James. Good morning.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. Yeah, good morning, Rebecca. The Vatican announced just this morning that Pope Francis is suffering from what they call mild flu-like symptoms, and it's just days before a planned trip to Belgium and Luxembourg. All his audiences for the day have been cancelled, but they say this is just as a precaution. They say as of now, the trip, which is to visit victims of child sex abuse, is still on. Now, the Vatican is stressing that these symptoms are mild, but there is near now constant concern about the 87-year-old Pope's health. Last winter, he battled respiratory infections, which, given he had part of a lung removed as a child, can be quite serious. And his sciatica is so bad, he's been using a wheelchair for the last 2 years. But despite all these issues, he still likes to be as busy as possible. He only just returned from a packed 11-day tour of Asia, which saw him visit 4 countries. It was the longest and furthest he's travelled as Pope to date. This is not someone who likes to slow down, guys.
I hope he'll make a full recovery. And as Rebecca said, it's good to have you in the studio here with us, James.
Lovely to be here. Thanks,
okay.
Sean Diddy Combs arrested, then handcuffed, caught on camera. We're going to tell you what we know about his conditions in jail right now.
Plus, a 10-year-old found safe in the woods thanks to a thermal imaging drone. What we know about how she wandered off.
And our exclusive with NFL player Damar Hamlin. We know he suffered that cardiac arrest during a game. How he's now helping keep young athletes safe. Just getting started. Coming up, social studies, the groundbreaking year-long deep dive into the world of teenagers and how social media reshaped their childhood. We'll be right back. Welcome back to GMA, and for the first time in forever, Frozen star Kristen is here live in Times Square along with Adam Brody for their new show, Nobody Wants This. That's coming up in our next hour.
Looking forward to that. Following a lot of headlines right now, including the urgent warning to civilians overseas as fears of a wider war grow in the Middle East. Overnight, Israeli forces conducted extensive strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. The airstrikes intensified over the weekend after last week's unprecedented attack on Hezbollah personal communication devices. Also right now, the man who was behind the second assassination attempt on former President Trump is due in federal court in Florida this morning. He's facing gun charges, illegally possessing a firearm as a convicted felon, and possessing a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Those charges carry a combined maximum sentence of 20 years in prison.
And take a look at this, a wild scene in Massachusetts as 8 bulls crashed through a fence and escaped a rodeo. 7 bulls were captured. 1 remains at large.
What do you mean one remains at large?
One of them is just having the time of his or her life. Have you been to a rodeo, Robin?
Yeah, of course. I'm from the South.
Yeah. Sister and I did, and we ran around with the bulls. It was quite scary. We were little kids, and they let us do it. I don't know. My parents were not parenting like parents of the current era are parenting, but we're good. Everyone's good, and we've got a lot more ahead, including the search for a missing 10-year-old using a thermal imaging drone and what police now say about how she wandered away. Everyone is healthy and okay now. That's coming up.
That's the most important thing, Rebecca. You're right about that. But now the Sean Diddy Combs investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. 1, 2, 3.
A day earlier, Combs seen out and about in New York with his family, seemingly in good spirits. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. At the center of the case, this 2016 video obtained by CNN that depicts Combs attacking his then-girlfriend, the singer Cassie, and then dragging her back toward a hotel room. Federal prosecutors said the video is powerful evidence of how dangerous the hip-hop mogul could be to women, part of why 2 different federal judges denied him bail.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous, and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Combs, who lived in this $50 million Miami mansion, is now in an isolated unit of a federal jail in Brooklyn known for miserable conditions.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3, staff members escorting them.
When Combs first arrived at jail, he was monitored for suicide. That's common for any high-profile inmate. But his attorney says Combs is not suicidal. Rather, guys, he's focused on defending himself. Guys?
All right, we'll see what happens going forward. Aaron, thank you.
New details about the rescue of a little girl who went missing in the woods of Louisiana. She was found with the help of a thermal imaging drone. Eva Pilgrim here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. It was a frantic search for a 10-year-old girl, but thanks to the help of that drone, that little girl is safe back home this morning with her family.
This is the moment a 10-year-old girl was found safe thanks to the help of thermal drone technology. Peyton Saint-Nan went missing at 10 p.m. Saturday night. Officials say she went sleepwalking into the woods near her Shreveport, Louisiana home.
Our office was notified that Peyton was missing. The family and neighbors had already been looking for her for about an hour.
After receiving this picture of Peyton taken by a trail camera used by hunters, the sheriff, Louisiana State Police, and hundreds of volunteers searched these woods together. A drone operator, Josh Klober in Arkansas, heard about the massive search and raced in to help, bringing in his drone equipped with a thermal imaging camera.
We staged up and got everything set up, set the generator up. We had a big flat screen TV.
It took Klober just 20 minutes to spot Peyton, zooming in his camera, showing the girl on the ground, curled up, missing a shoe, just a mile and a half from her home.
We saw the purple and white pajamas that she had been wearing. She was laying there. She wasn't moving, and everybody was just kind of holding their breath.
Within moments, the little girl was woken by her best friend's dad, who helped in the search. After 24 hours, Peyton safe and back home.
Other than some mosquito bites, she was perfect. It's truly a miracle that she was unharmed.
And her family telling authorities Peyton has been known to sleepwalk, but she's never left the house like this before. The sheriff saying prayers were answered. She is fine, back at home, and a good sign, she was hungry.
They worked fast.
Yeah,
They
very
did.
fast. Really incredible work.
Happy to see it. Thanks, Eva. Now with an ABC News exclusive with Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills safety returned to the starting lineup this season for the first time since his life-threatening cardiac arrest on the field in early 2023. And now he's sharing his plan to make sure young athletes get the emergency care they need. Will Reeve, you spoke to him. Great way that he's paying this all forward. Nice to see you.
You as well, Rebecca. They say there's the day you're born and the day you find out why. And Damar Hamlin thought his purpose was to play football, and in many ways it still is, thanks in large part to the people and equipment who saved his life. And now spreading awareness of and access to that life-saving equipment is his why, and he hopes his legacy.
Well, this is the last thing you want to see.
It was the moment a national TV audience watched in horror as the Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin collapsed to the ground after this hit. Hamlin experiencing sudden cardiac arrest, medics and trainers reviving him through CPR and an automated external defibrillator.
I count my blessings daily, still being able to be here, just still being able to live life every day after experiencing everything I experienced.
And this morning, Hamlin and the NFL's Smart Heart Sports Coalition exclusively announcing to GMA the launch of a new program to help get more automated external defibrillators, known as AEDs, into schools and onto playing fields.
I'm super excited to announce, it's the new AEDs for Youth program. It's pretty much open to all schools, K through 12th grades, through the end of 2025 in all 50 states.
Hamlin, a man now on a mission, determined to spread the word on the importance of AEDs.
What shift in perception have you noticed as you go through your daily life, knowing that if you don't have the right equipment or awareness, things can go horribly wrong?
I'm more aware of the importance of an AED, and, I'm more aware of the importance of CPR as well.
Sudden cardiac arrest is a rare but leading source of exercise-related death in young athletes.
We know with the implementation of immediate CPR and AED, survival can dramatically increase almost 7-fold.
Currently, only about half of all states require schools to have AEDs, and these life-saving devices are costly. The AEDs for Youth program is teaming up with leading AED companies to help make these devices more accessible and affordable in schools across the country.
It's an essential, being able to know how to use an AED and know how to perform CPR. I look at that as a life-saving skill, which is a superpower.
And in a recent headline, Hamlin was involved in a different play when Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa sustained his third diagnosed concussion after this collision with Hamlin.
Hamlin hit him, and Tua down.
Prayers to Tua. I hope he's healing up well, and, I hope he gets back to doing his thing as soon as possible.
And I asked Hamlin if he considered the eerie similarities between how he and Tua collided and that hit that changed his own life. And he said he hadn't, because it all happened so fast in the moment and because he's so focused on making the most of every moment he has now, which have been made possible by AEDs. It's a full circle moment.
He's a good guy. He
Really
always
is.
has been.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much. And Hamlin will take part in tonight's Monday Night Football doubleheader as the Buffalo Bills take on the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals face the Washington Commanders. Let's go back to Janae there in Cincinnati. Good morning again, Janae.
There sounded like there was some hesitation there, Robin. On to Cincinnati. I am here at Paycor Stadium where the Cincinnati Bengals will take on the Washington Commanders, but the Bengals find themselves in a bind. For the third year in a row, they are off to an 0-2 start, and last week they took a tough loss against the Chiefs, losing by 1 point on the final play of the game. Quarterback Joe Burrow now looking to right the ship, and he's got reinforcements. Wide receiver T. Higgins, rookie defensive tackle Chris Jenkins, they are back, making their season debuts tonight. And the Bengals are the favorites against the Commanders, but it won't be a walk in the park. Jaden Daniels, quarterback, is not going down without a fight. He is a Heisman Trophy winner in his rookie season, leading an offense that is exceeding expectations. Now add in the friendly rivalry between the quarterbacks, Joe Burrows and Jaden Daniels, who both went to LSU, both won the Heisman Trophy, and this is sure to be a Monday Night Football game full of drama, but it is not the only one. So let's go over to Ashin Singh, who is in Buffalo. Ashin, please tell me you got some buffalo wings.
Yes, what's up, Janae, and welcome to Highmark Stadium. I haven't got my buffalo wings yet, but we are here in the home of the notorious Bills Mafia, who are feeling pretty good after a solid 2-0 start to the season. They're well rested after 10 days off and are looking to take on a young and restless Jacksonville Jaguars team who've started the season a disappointing 0-2. They're hoping for a statement game from their young quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who can prove that he is in fact their guy against this Bills defense and can hopefully lead Jacksonville to football glory one day. But it is tough to bet against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, especially here at home under the lights. But it is worth noting that the superstar quarterback does in fact have a losing record here on Monday Night Football. Just 3 wins and 5 losses throughout his career. He's got a formidable opponent in the Jacksonville linebackers who are hoping to put the league on notice against one of the NFL's best offenses. Guys, the stage is set. Bills Mafia is going to be rocking here tonight. I still need to get my buffalo wings, so I'm really excited.
That's all we can think about are the wings. All right, Ashwin, thank you. Have a good time. Janae, thank you as well. And as we said, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jaguars. That begins tonight at 7:15 on ESPN, and then the Commanders and Bengals at 8 on ABC, a doubleheader. Yeah. Coming up, we got the Deals and Steals September Savings Spectacular. It is back. Tori is going to be here with beauty and skin care bargains. You don't want to miss it.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. overnight. Israeli forces conduct extensive strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Cross-border attacks ramp up. Now, what U.S. officials tell us about fears of a wider war. Martha Raddatz is in Tel Aviv on the escalation. Social studies, the groundbreaking year-long immersion into the world of teenagers.
I think parents don't know the majority of what teens are doing on their phones.
How social media reshaped their childhood.
Investing 101, how to get started when you're on a tight budget, how to begin building your nest egg even if you're living paycheck to paycheck.
It's a girl, Olivia Munn, and John Mulaney announcing the birth of their daughter via a surrogate. What Munn is saying about the experience and why she's calling the surrogate her real-life angel. Plus, the sweet details the new parents are sharing about their baby girl. As we say, good morning, America.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA.
Come on, you just wanted to squeeze those little cheeks, didn't you? Good morning, America. Tori Johnson is here to keep the Deals and Steals September Savings Spectacular going this morning. Big bargains on beauty and skincare. And Rebecca, you have some money talk ahead.
Oh, yeah, money talk. Talk money to me. We love it. Well, investing, it can be intimidating, and we're going to tell you how to get into it, especially if you are on a tight budget. I spoke to one woman. She has 4 children. She did just that, and we're going to show you how you can take $10 every 2 weeks and turn it into so much more.
Looking forward to that. We have a look at the top stories breaking today. Right now, we're going to start with the urgent warning to civilians overseas as fears of a wider war grow in the Middle East. Overnight, Israeli forces say they conducted extensive strikes on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. I want to go back to our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz in Tel Aviv. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning again, George. There is no question that the Israelis have ratcheted up this war with dramatic airstrikes in Lebanon overnight, taking out Hezbollah missiles they say could have caused great damage here in Israel.
Overnight, dramatic new strikes on Lebanon.
For the first time since the October 7th massacre, Israel showing warplanes making a direct hit on a residence where they say Hezbollah was hiding a cruise missile capable of traveling deep into Israel. The IDF saying you can see Hezbollah operatives breaking down a wall in the home and readying the missile for launch. The IDF now warning that extensive, precise strikes aimed at targets across Lebanon are far from over, and that civilians around them should flee. This comes after a weekend of Hezbollah firing more than 150 rockets into northern Israel, many of them intercepted before they hit their mark. Israel, too, launching hundreds of strikes into Lebanon. The airstrikes intensified after last week's unprecedented attacks on Hezbollah personal communications devices, including pagers, killing 42 people and injuring nearly 3,500. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making clear Israel will do whatever is necessary to restore security to its borders.
No country can accept the wanton rocketing of its cities. We can't accept it either.
A U.S. official telling me they expect Israel's strikes into Lebanon will increase substantially in the coming hours. And of course, they expect retaliation from Hezbollah as well. Rebecca?
Watching that region so closely. Okay, Martha, thank you. We turn now to the funeral services held for a judge who was gunned down inside his chamber. Faith Abube is tracking this story. And Faith, right now authorities are searching for a possible motive here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Rebecca. They are. In the meantime, though, there was an outpouring of support for the family of Judge Mullins and grief for him at that funeral yesterday in the small rural community. Hundreds and hundreds of people showed up to pay their final respects inside an auditorium in Letcher County yesterday. The prominent Kentucky judge was remembered not just as a father of 2 girls and a husband, but also as a change maker in that community. As a judge, he fought for people suffering from opioid addiction, sending low-level drug offenders into recovery instead of jail. But it was in that same courthouse where he led the transformative change that he was killed Thursday afternoon. Police say that the sheriff, Mickey Steins, fatally shot Judge Kevin Mullins inside his chambers following an argument. According to friends, the two worked closely together for years and were buddies. They reportedly even had lunch earlier in the day. At this point, though, as you said, Rebecca, investigators have still not released a motive. They are still investigating this case. In the meantime, though, we're expecting to see the sheriff for his first court appearance on the murder charge later on this week. Rebecca.
Just looking for some answers there. Okay, Faith, thank you. Robin?
All right, Rebecca, now to the WNBA playoffs. Caitlin Clark made her playoff debut, and the Las Vegas Aces started their quest for a three-peat. Diane Macedo, you're going to have those highlights for us. Good morning.
I do. It was a disappointing playoff debut for Caitlin Clark, but right now it is all about the Las Vegas Aces and A'ja Wilson. The team's on their way to a potential 3rd championship in a row after beating the Seattle Storm 78-67. 3rd-time league MVP A'ja Wilson came back from a slow start to sink 21 points, the most of anyone from the night. This as she celebrates becoming only the 2nd player to ever unanimously win MVP. Our own Jacqueline Lee broke that news right here on GMA this weekend.
And this is the first time since 1997 that it was a unanimous vote for MVP.
I did not know it was.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, it was unanimous.
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's incredible. I did not know it was unanimous. That's so cool. That is really cool.
Gotta love the snap, snap, snap. But it was a rough start for Caitlin Clark, kicking off the postseason with a loss, a black eye, and just 11 points after being poked in the eye just 2 minutes into her first pro playoff game. The Connecticut Sun trounced her Indiana Fever 93-69. Thanks to strong defense by DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas's 4th playoff triple-double, and 27 points by Marina Mabrey, a WNBA postseason record for most points off the bench in a single game. Meanwhile, number 2 Minnesota Lynx pulled off an action-packed win against the Phoenix Mercury, trading off the lead and losing team multiple times before they finally sealed the deal with Nafisa Collier, putting up a career-high 38 points for a final score of 102-95. And the number 1 New York Liberty beat the Atlanta Dream 83-69, maintaining their best record in the league as they try for their first ever WNBA championship. Now it's on to Game 2 in these series. New York plays Atlanta, and Seattle Seattle plays Las Vegas again tomorrow night on ESPN. And keep in mind, it's best of 3, so for some of these teams, this could be it if they can't force a game 3.
I don't like that thing best of 3. I would go best of 5, because it's so hard in that way. But
the stakes are high, and they are keeping it exciting.
All right, Diane, thank you.
Okay.
You lost
My
your...
earring just fell out. I've got the assist. I'm ready for you.
Coming up, our GMA morning menu, the new look at the impact of social media on teens, how it has transformed childhood for a whole generation.
Also ahead, Olivia Munn and John Mulaney sharing that they had a baby girl via a surrogate after months' battle with breast cancer. We are so happy for them, and we've got all the happy details ahead in Pop News.
Plus, a silent reading party is going on right outside our studio with special guest, best-selling author Nicholas Sparks. We'll hear about it in his new novel. And Laura, you have 2 special guests.
I do. I'm here with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. Both of them here to tell us about their new rom-com series. It's called Nobody Wants This, Except Us. And we're going to get it coming up on Good Morning America. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm excited.
Back here on GMA with our GMA cover story, a groundbreaking new documentary about how social media has reshaped childhood for teens. Nightline's Juju Chang sat down with the filmmaker behind it and has the story for us. Good morning to you, Juju.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Recently the Surgeon General asked for a warning label on social media because it's associated with significant mental health harms for teens. Now, this filmmaker mom got inside the secret world of those kids, dozens of LA teens who've lived their entire childhood on social media. Some call it the guinea pig generation.
I hope to document the first generation that had grown up with social media their entire lives.
What do you think parents don't know about what their teens are doing on social media?
I think parents don't know the majority of what teens are doing on their phones.
I sort of don't want to look at my kids' TikTok.
Award-winning filmmaker Lauren Greenfield is hoping to change that.
I have to say, I think it's going to be shocking to parents and familiar to kids.
It's a groundbreaking and intimate year-long immersion into the world of teenagers and the gargantuan role social media plays in their lives.
How many of you were asked to send a nude of yourself?
The 5-part FX docuseries, Social Studies, features a diverse group of LA digital natives who tackle tough topics: depression, sexual assault, online racism, and the intensity of what she dubs algorithm pressure.
Is it our imagination, or is it harder to be a teen today?
I think it's much harder to be a teenager. I think one of the things that I took away is how toxic comparison culture is. And social media is 24/7 comparison. Now they're comparing themselves against the whole world, and images that are fictionalized, that are manufactured, that are retouched, that are not real.
You start a TikTok to be in that TV show, movie type life, where everything comes easy for you.
That's what you see online and on TV and everywhere, and that's what's marketed. Social media is more about looking good and appealing to what other people like.
Were you nervous about giving so much access to your phone to Lauren?
I was nervous, yeah, but I think that what Lauren was doing was so important that I think we have to get so vulnerable in order to really capture this generation in the digital age.
In the series, we meet Sydney Shear, who says she was cyberbullied during her senior year at Palisades Charter High School.
I really was vulnerable in this series, and it's hard seeing yourself at your lowest, but I feel like this series is very important, and it sparks an important conversation that we don't really talk about so often.
Who in here has gone viral? Show of hands. Oh my gosh, everybody's gone viral.
I think some parents will watch this and be like, well, those are extreme California kids.
I really wanted to make the point that these are not individual, unusual, extreme stories. These are really universal stories.
I have to say, as a mom of 3 sons, this 5-part series had me shook. I mean, shook. And it also offers, though, hope and a roadmap for teens and parents and educators, as well as big tech and lawmakers. It also comes with a long list of resources, everything from helplines to curriculum, and the entire project is designed to spark conversation and hopefully change. Social Studies premieres Friday on FX, and you can stream it on Hulu, guys.
Oh, I definitely will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Juju, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Appreciate
So important.
you. Yes, it is. And Time for a little pop news,
You're
Blair?
supposed to say, and also so important. Very nice segue. Thank you, Choo-choo. We'll work on it. Good morning, everybody. We're going to begin with some great news for Olivia Munn and John Mulaney. A big announcement from the couple taking to social media to share that they just welcomed a baby girl named May into their family with the help of a surrogate. This happy news comes just months after Munn revealed her breast cancer battle to the world. Munn writing about the decision on their baby announcement post, saying that when she and John first met with their surrogate, they spoke mother to mother, and that she knew they had found a real-life angel. They thanked her for keeping baby May safe for 9 months. May joins older brother Malcolm in the happy family of 4. And May, by the way, guys, means plum in Chinese. They're little plum. Congratulations, guys. We're so happy for you. Also this morning, so it turns out September 22nd, we all love September 21st. September 22nd, very special day in television, with 3 of the most highly acclaimed shows of our time debuting on that same date, 30 years ago on September 22nd, 1994. Yep, this pop culture phenom debuted. Thank you, Robin. You are forgiven. Going on to run for 10 seasons with 62 Emmy nominations to its credit and over 52 million people tuning in to watch the finale. Another show celebrating a milestone anniversary on the 22nd, Lost. The ABC hit drama premiered 20 years ago. It went on for 6 storied seasons, culminating in one of the most shocking endings in television history. A new documentary, guys, called Getting Lost held its world premiere yesterday, hence the reason for this whole story. I did a little deep dive after I saw that. It features interviews with the terrific cast and crew. It also looks at the cultural impact of that innovative show. And then finally, one of the greats, The West Wing, also marked its 25th anniversary on this same magical date with a cast visit to the White House and the real West Wing. So remember, September 22nd, good things happen.
If you're going to launch a new show, let it be that day.
Exactly, may it be. Finally, for everybody this morning, we're celebrating some avid readers taking their love of books to the next level. I love this idea. It's a special party happening right now outside of our studio in Times Square. The group is known as Reading Rhythms, and they have gone massively viral for their silent reading parties. They launched the idea last summer when a group of friends wanted to gather and read their favorite books. They started a club on a rooftop in Brooklyn. Now, guys, they have thousands of followers all over the country, many of whom are here at our reading party with Will Reeve. Will, I send it out to you. Take it away, my friend.
Hello, Lara. This is one of Reading Rhythm's earliest reading parties they've ever had. Not necessarily a morning reading club, but we've got over 100 people out here on the TKTS steps outside our studio in Times Square getting a little early morning reading of their favorite book in. And I'm joined now by the founder of Reading Rhythms, the co-founder, I should say. I don't want to give anybody short change. This is Ben Bradbury. Ben, what is it about getting people together to read that's become so popular?
Well, Will, I think people think reading is this solitary activity, but we think it's social. Look at all the people out on the steps. Yes, they're finding times to themselves and their books, but it's an amazing way to be communal, and our reading parties are all about helping people meet new friends.
Well, we've met a lot of new friends in the form of characters in the books of our next guest here, who I'm going to bring in right now, the one and only Nicholas Sparks, everyone. One of the most prolific and successful writers in literary history. He's written 24 New York Times bestsellers, and you're about to release your 24th novel, Nick. How does it feel knowing that people are willing to come out here, wake up before sunrise and read together?
Yeah, I love that. You know, some of my favorite discussions I've had are about my favorite book, or a book where you've bonded over a particular author. It's a shared passion that you can talk about and discuss, and to me, those are some of my more memorable conversations that I've ever had.
Yeah, well, people are very passionate about your books, and to that end, you have a little surprise for everybody here?
I do. I am actually going to hand out copies of my new novel, Counting Miracles, to everyone in the audience.
You get a book, and you get a book, and you get a book, and you get a book. Well, we're going to get you busy handing those out before we send you back into the studio, and then Nicholas will be coming back inside in just a little bit. Guys, we're going to keep the reading party going out here with the new novel, Counting Miracles.
They were so quiet out there. It was amazing. They're getting a book. They're so excited. Thank you, Nicholas Sparks. He'll be joining us live, by the way, in our studio in just a few minutes to tell us all about that latest novel called Counting Miracles. That is coming up, guys. That's Pop News.
He has sold so many.
He's so talented.
So talented.
Now to deals and steals in our September savings spectacular. Tori Johnson's here with skincare and beauty products to make you look and feel great. Tori, great to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm an addict, so let's get started. Sunday on a Monday.
Sunday on a Monday, exactly. This is Sunday Riley. You guys have requested it. We've got it back. We've got so many of the best-selling products here, but two fan favorites that I want to single out. This one right here,
yes.
Good Genes. That is their lactic acid treatment, and it's designed to, I specifically didn't open it because you're going to put that on your face, and I didn't want you to waste any, quite frankly.
Thank you, Tori.
Exfoliates for immediate radiance, and then also helps for instantly plumping fine lines and wrinkles in just 3 minutes. So this is a product where you can see both immediate as well as cumulative results. We also have right here, this is another one of the fan favorites. It's their CEO 15% vitamin C brightening serum, and this one's going to help with the 3Ds: dullness, dark spots, discoloration. Again, fast acting as well. All of the Sunday Riley products today, 50% off and free shipping.
These
from Sunday.
Are excellent.
So good. Something else that's excellent.
Yes, indeed.
If you want quick, no fuss, but powerful results with minimal time, this is the line for you. M61 right here is there. This is like the fan favorite. The 1 minute, 1-step exfoliating peel. It's going to resurface, clarify, leaves you truly with radiant, renewed glow. It's also really great for travel because it's so easy to pop in your bag.
No TSA pre-issues.
No issues there. We also have it in the body form. This one's great for helping to reduce or eliminate ingrown hairs, body blemishes, and then they also make it in their gradual tan formula, which I love because it's great for both firming as well as a streak-free, even, gorgeous glow without sitting in the sun. Everything from N61 today, slashed in half, and also free shipping.
We love that.
Yeah. We
Another great one.
Mario Badescu. We have got a lot of their gentle yet effective formulas.
Yes.
Two that I happen to love. This one right here, the drying lotion. This is like
I know it well.
The pink potion. That's kind of magical. You put it on blemishes overnight, and they or either
you dip your Q-tip in there.
Dip the Q-tip in there, exactly. And in the morning, you're going to feel a lot better. The brightening eye serum is really great too. You put one pump on your ring finger, tap it along that orbital bone, and it's really great because it's got caffeine in here, so it's going to help to reduce any kind of puffiness. All of the products great, all slashed in half, starting at $7.
We love this, Tori. Thank you.
Beauty Bio. Another one, we've got all of their award-winning products. They're all about combining both tools and topicals. Two tools that we love. This one right here, pore cleansing facial tool. This is like vortex vacuum for your face.
Okay.
So it's going to take out all of the oils, impurities, dirt, anything that shouldn't be there, and it helps to reduce, minimize the appearance of pores. And then we have their award-winning micro needling tool. And when you use this and then apply your topicals, it helps with the absorption. So when you spend so much money on your skincare products, you want them to work. That tool is going to help do the trick. Everything from Beauty Bio slash in half starts at $19.50 and free shipping.
And you got our hair covered too.
You got your hair covered. I want to shout out this one right here. It's their new lightweight travel dryer, but it is packed with all of the premium features. The blow dry brush, pretty fabulous as well. This is going to help with styling. Everyone in the makeup room is like, yes, 50% off and free shipping.
Excellent.
And then we have to end on our favorite foot product.
Yay.
Baby foot, put it on, wait 5 days, the peeling begins, and you've got baby soft feet, $12.50 and free shipping.
Wonderful, and you don't even have to wait 5 days to get these products because Tori has partnered with all these companies on these great deals, and you can get them at our website where you'll also find bonus deals. That QR code is at the bottom of the screen. Coming up, Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. Stay with us.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
We are live, LIVE live, back now on GMA. And if it seems extra bright in our studio this morning, it's because we've got two of Hollywood's big stars here. Kristen Bell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Adam Brody, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. They're here to talk about their new series. I love this. Nobody Wants This. That's the name of it? Nobody Wants This? We think everybody wants this.
Yeah.
This conversation.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. So give us your elevator pitch about this show.
Oh, it is a modern, thoughtful, edgy rom-com about a girl who falls in love with a rabbi.
Ooh, ooh, no.
That's quick.
Right? What would you say?
No, that's great. It's an elevator pitch.
Okay.
Now, Kristen, we're happy to see you back because you had said that you wanted to maybe be away from television for a while. So what was it about this?
Yeah.
What was about you back?
I think I came across my desk at the right time. I think I had wanted to see a nice rom-com to sort of fill my soul. I feel like people need that. And yeah, I don't know. I stayed at home for a couple years and raised my kids, and now I feel like they're out and about in the world more, and I felt the itch to get creative again with this guy.
Yeah, I read that you guys were great friends, and certainly Adam, yay, so happy to see you. You have so many fans of your character on the OC.
Thanks.
Are there any comparisons or any similarities between Seth and this character Noah, who is being dubbed Hot Rabbi? Fun fact.
Yes and no, I guess. I think they have a lot of superficialities in common. But I mean, Noah's deeply religious and spiritual, and I would say that Seth isn't.
Yeah.
And so that's, that's a pretty big difference.
That's a big difference.
Kristen, you play a podcaster in the show.
Yes.
In your household, you know something about that. You live with the armchair expert.
I do.
Dax Shepard. So, did he give you any advice about all this?
No, he gives me advice on everything else, but no, I think, I don't know, the way I used it, because his podcast films in our home, is just understanding what comes along with living a life that is fully and completely on display at all times for the content, which is very much kind of my character on the show kind of lives out loud, which is why when she meets a sort of like more refined gentleman, it's really, I don't know, difficult for them to create some friction.
Let's see some of it.
What now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, as established, I'm definitely very fresh off of a long-term relationship. Plus, you and I come from such different worlds, it'd be very hard to pull off.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. You can't friend zone me, right? Because I already friend zoned you.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just trying to be clear.
I am just agreeing that that's likely the best
Okay,
call.
well, it's still
Thank
kind of
you.
rude. Please don't steal my thunder.
Understood.
Can I get some bread too, please?
Are you staying?
Undecided.
Okay, we're in. The chemistry between you two, and Lara alluded to this earlier. You guys known each other for a couple of decades. You've worked together before. So what was it like teaming up again on film?
I mean, it was lovely. I don't know. Kristen's reputation precedes her. She's phenomenal to work with, and there's a mood. I mean, obviously, she's very talented, and I admire her talent very much, but the mood and the energy she brings is very infectious, and I've worked with her before, so I know it. And it permeates the whole crew, everyone.
And Kristen, when you saw the script, you knew it was Adam?
100%. I was on like page 3 when I was like, well, this has to be Brody. I have to figure out how to convince him to do this, because I think from an outside point of view, he seems very picky about his work, but I love everything that he's in. And so
I've gotten to hear this story a lot. I like it.
he's so picky. You can never get him, but I had to snag him for this. I was like, I'm not going to do it unless it's Adam Brody. That's got to be it.
That is so nice to hear, right?
It's very flattering.
You and your wife, Leighton, have little girls.
Well, one little girl. and one little boy.
Yes.
One big girl now.
Oh, but probably still loves Frozen, I hope. I'm wondering if they've figured out that you're working with the star.
My daughter
of Frozen.
has. My daughter's into it. My son doesn't know yet.
Oh.
But he'll learn.
Yes, he will. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And my kids are very excited that Adam was in Shazam.
Oh,
really?
That's right.
Because when I met Lincoln, I said, "Oh, hi, I've heard so much about you." She said, "I've heard nothing about you."
That's funny. Look, she's over it all the time. She definitely. We went to see Shazam in 4D, and I almost broke my neck. I didn't understand what 4D was.
Oh,
that
that's
it was like a
where the theater spits on you.
It was really intense. So just warning, 4D means you're actually going to be moving around. And I took my mom, and it's just there were injuries.
There were injuries?
Yeah, the seats move so much. But
And
it's
that
a
wasn't
great
even
movie.
Twisters.
Well, you guys, thank you so much. Congratulations. It looks fantastic. It's getting great press. I mean, it's got to be an honor to be called Hot Rabbi. It is.
Let's just let it happen.
Yes. It's great. Love having you guys. Thank you.
We do. Nobody Wants This. I love that. Nobody Wants This. That's really the name. Nobody Wants This. It premieres globally on Netflix this Thursday. You're going to want to check it out. With our Money Smart series, with ways to plan financially for the future. This morning, how to invest and make your money work for you, no matter your income. Rebecca, you're going to start us off with people, because sometimes, it's really tight for a lot of folks.
It is really tight for a lot of folks, Robin. And guys, I get this question all the time for viewers. Their biggest question is, how do I get started, especially when I am on a budget? Well, this is how. When mother of four Alicia Rushing first thought about investing, she was living on a tight budget.
Living paycheck to paycheck was a normal thing. So finding time or the extra money to save was like a hard thing to do.
So she started slow with just $20 and gradually increased it as her income went up.
I think a lot of people are sitting back and thinking like, I need hundreds and thousands of dollars. And that's definitely not the case when it comes to investing.
Alicia used the app Acorns to start. It's one of many available to consumers. Another, Robinhood. Their head of investment strategy, Stephanie Guild, gave us some tips. She recommends building at least 3 months of emergency savings before you start investing. Next, figure out your goals.
Write down like what you want this to do for you. That can be, I'm going to save for a home, I'm going to save for a vacation, or even something longer term, like I just want to save for my retirement. And once you have an account open, you can start even with a small amount.
And finally, diversify by not investing everything in one company.
An exchange-traded fund is sometimes a good way to get started. When you go out and buy the 10-pack of multicolored socks, and that's how I think about an ETF. You buy one thing and it gives you exposure to lots of different stocks underlying it.
As for Alicia, her investment's grown by about $2,000 since she started 6 months ago, and she plans to keep going.
Investing is a priority right now. Like, something I'm gonna do every month is invest in something.
And what I really love about this is how Alicia did it. She started small, so if you automate and make small regular contributions, $10 to $20 a paycheck, over time it really grows. And then you want to use those windfalls wisely. If you get a tax refund, an inheritance, maybe you make a return and get a little money back, bank it, put it towards your retirement, and then finally talk to your employer. A number of employers have free counseling that really can walk you through this. And I just want to really double down on the idea of starting small. If you started at 22 years old, put $10 every 2 weeks into an IRA or a 401k, invested it in stocks, so like an S&P 500 index fund, by the time you are 67 years old, you will have over $74,000, and that's because of compound interest and starting early. And you were just saying you started early.
I remember being in elementary school and I wanted a Schwinn, with the banana seat and all that. So
handlebars.
The handlebars, the high rise. I remember opening my first savings account, and and it's just something that stayed with me.
Bring the piggy bank as a mom and dad.
What was your first savings account?
I had one when I was like 10.
I loved it. I loved the book.
Yes,
You felt such an accomplishment.
And the candy at the bank.
Oh, yeah,
it's really good too.
Let's go back to Ginger.
Get ready to see the Amazon like never before. National Geographic has launched a digital experience called Into the Amazon to immerse you in the beauty and splendor of one of the world's most critical ecosystems. The incredible visuals were captured by 17 National Geographic explorers. Nat Geo will stream a documentary next month called Expedition Amazon. For more, check out National Geographic's October issue and interactive experience online right now at natgeo.com/intotheamazon. And tune in to the Expedition Amazon documentary on Nat Geo, Disney Plus, and Hulu on October 11th.
With our friend Nicholas Sparks, the author of The Notebook, dozens of other books. They've sold more than 130 million copies. His new novel is called Counting Miracles. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Tell us about Counting Miracles.
Counting Miracles, well, it's Nicholas Sparks, right? So you got a little romantic story in there. It's set in North Carolina. This one's interesting. It's got a couple of stories. You've got a guy who's very unsettled in his life, rolls into town. He meets a divorced mother of 2 kids, and he's not staying long. Well, that's a conflict. Can they get together? Meanwhile, you've got a story about another character who wants to save a white deer that's wandered into the woods, and these stories kind of collide.
Where do the miracles fit in? What's the significance of counting miracles?
You know, it's interesting. The counting miracles actually came from a line in the book of Job in the Bible, and it says, you know, the Lord is great, and your life is filled with uncounted miracles. So I called it Counting Miracles, and so you'll see the reference, the biblical quote right there at the beginning of the novel.
We saw you out there at that silent reading party. It must be so much fun to meet up with your readers, your audience.
It is, you know, and it's interesting because people ask, do I like it? And I do, because it gives me a chance to find out, A, what they liked, what other novels that I've written in the past, and what and basic ideas for the next one. I was literally at a book signing yesterday, and someone said, you know, you haven't done a story about a love story of people who are in their 50s and 60s for a while. Why don't you do that? And I spent last night thinking, yeah, why haven't I done that? Maybe I'll do that. And that's where it comes.
Do you have an ideal reader in your head, or does it change all the time?
No, I mean, I'm real fortunate that my readers range from teenagers up till they're in their 80s and 90s. I had a lady at the book signing yesterday. She was my oldest lady there. She was 102 years old, and I think my youngest reader was 12 yesterday. So it's pretty much, I think it's anyone who just wants a story about people they can relate to, because I don't write about, let's say, astronauts or presidents or assassins or serial killers. I write about, hey, this lady's a small town doctor, this guy used to serve in the military, and this guy used to grow trees for a living.
We have one of your super fans right here, Jill. You have a question?
Hey, Jill.
Yes, hi, nice to meet you. Many of your books resonate with me for different reasons, and I'm just curious, out of all of your books, which one holds the most significance to you personally, and what makes it stand out?
You know, you got to go with the first one, right? The Notebook. Without the Notebook, I wouldn't be where I am today. And, you know, that's what launched my career, so to speak. So it's got the most resonance. I'm not saying, though, that that's the one that I think is the best or the most complex or something like that. It just has impacted my life more than any other because of the film, because of the musical, because it spent so long on the bestseller list.
Do your kids have a favorite?
Walk to Remember, right? But that's the one, but a lot of times when I have readers, their favorite is the one they read first. And so when my kids reached an age where they can read, I'm like, okay, read A Walk to Remember. It's about teenagers.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks,
Always
George.
good to see you. Counting Miracles is out tomorrow, and coming up, Chef Charlene Gelen is here sharing some great dishes for the fall.
We're back, and it's officially fall, which means it's time to turn our ovens back on and make some hearty meals.
Yeah.
So excited. We have Carolina Gelen here. She's a food influencer with more than 1 million followers online, and now she's out with her very first cookbook. It's called Pass the Plate. She's bringing us some easy and delicious recipes to celebrate the season. I love this one. This is called One Pan Garlicky Chicken Couscous.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those words are perfect. And when you're using chicken thighs,
I am.
they're
So
more
we're
flavorful,
gonna
right?
start, if you want, to season the chicken thighs with pepper and salt, and we're gonna sear them in the pan.
I like the way Lara seasons that.
I know. And then we're gonna move the chicken thighs to the skillet,
And
skin side down.
skin down,
We
okay.
want to make sure we get all that fat in the pan, rendering. So we're gonna toast the couscous in there. And that's what Pass the Plate is all about. I have so many recipes for you. I have 100 recipes.
So excited.
Approachable, easy. This one is a one-pan meal. We're all tired. We're all overworked. The last thing you want to do is come home and try to figure out what you want to cook. So you can open the book and find an easy and approachable meal to make from it.
And this one has couscous in the title.
Yes.
And you do something kind of interesting with it. You brown it.
Yes, so what I'm gonna do is we get the pearled couscous, which if you don't have access to this, it's so easy to substitute with orzo or rice or other things like that. And we're toasting it in the chicken fat with some shallots and some chicken consomme powder, which brings it that beautiful chickeny flavor.
Are we stirring?
And it's so affordable. Stir it up.
Okay, stir it up.
And you're putting the couscous in dry.
Yes, we're putting it dry so it toasts up in all that delicious fat. And color is flavor. You want to toast it. You want to get that color on it.
How long does it take to get to where you like it.
It just takes about 5 minutes. And then we're gonna cover everything with the water once the couscous is toasted. And dump, are you ready for this? 15 garlic cloves.
15.
Yeah. I'm from Transylvania. I have to represent my people. We eat a lot of garlic there. So the funny thing about the garlic in this recipe is that it gets sweet in the oven. It doesn't get too garlicky. Yep. It just like melts in the couscous. And then we're gonna move on to adding the chicken thighs in here. And then we just cover them all up and we're baking them in the oven. And that's what's nice about this. You can just put it in there, you cover it with aluminum foil.
How long bake?
And just forget it in the oven at 425 for about 30 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes until the couscous, the pearl couscous is cooked.
Nice and easy.
While that's in the oven, we're gonna move on to making a delicious green sauce. And what's wonderful about this, you can add whatever herbs you love. I'm starting with some capers here. Pickles are also really nice if you want to add all these ingredients in there. Got a little bit of olive
Lara's
oil.
the one doing all the work here, which I'm enjoying.
I know, you're slacking a little bit.
And so you just mentioned Transylvania. You moved to the U.S. 3 years ago from Romania, which is incredible. And you're a food influencer and you're teaching all of this.
Amazing.
What's your inspiration?
I love cooking food and bringing people together through food. And I think cooking for people at home and seeing your recipes in people's homes, it's just a feeling I never get tired of, and that really inspires me.
This just smells so good.
It does
Doesn't
smell
it?
so good. And I'm seeing things, for example, I have a 10-month-old at home, so I'm seeing this. He could actually enjoy this.
100%. And this, we're gonna move on to the salad, but first we're gonna drizzle all this delicious sauce all over our chicken skillet.
Okay, great.
So after the couscous, the pearl couscous is cooked, you broil it just a little bit so it crisps up on top. And look at that beautiful sauce
this is great.
drizzled on
This
top
is
of
fantastic.
it. And then we have a fall harvest salad, which couldn't come together
And
easier.
it looks beautiful.
Right?
And we
add
have
a bunch
all of the
stuff to it.
recipe.
Yes.
Sorry, we're running out of time
Yeah.
because this is so delicious. You can get all these recipes on goodmorningamerica.com, and Carolina's cookbook, Pass the Plate, comes out tomorrow. Let's enjoy. Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you so much.
So
Cheers.
They're so
great.
good.
Thank you very much.
It's quite a start to the week right here. Hope you had a good Monday.
Have a great day, a great awkward Monday.
Only goes up from here.